My fiancé's girls' trip to Miami was actually her attending her ex-boyfriend's wedding as his +1. My fiancée Jessica told me 3 months ago that she and her college friends were planning a girls' trip to Miami for Memorial Day weekend. She said it would be 5 of them staying at a beach hotel, doing spa days and going out to clubs. I thought it was great. She'd been stressed with work and deserved a break. She left on a Friday morning and I drove her to the airport. She kissed me goodbye and said she'd text me when she landed. She did text me a few hours later with a photo of her and her friend Monica at what looked like their hotel pool. Over the weekend, she sent occasional updates: pool photos, dinner photos, a picture of a cocktail with the ocean in the background. Sunday night, she came home exhausted but happy. She said they'd had an amazing time and showed me a few more photos on her phone. Everything seemed normal. We went back to our regular routine and I didn't think about the trip again. 2 weeks later, I was at a coffee shop near my office when I ran into Monica. I mentioned that Jessica had said they'd had a great time in Miami. Monica looked confused. She asked what I was talking about. I said the girls' trip over Memorial Day weekend. Monica said there was no girls' trip. She'd been home that entire weekend. She'd actually invited Jessica to a barbecue on Sunday and Jessica had said she was busy. I felt my stomach drop. I asked if maybe it was a different group of friends. Monica said Jessica had specifically mentioned her and 3 other women by name, all of whom Monica knew, and none of them had gone to Miami. I went home that night and asked Jessica directly about the trip. She insisted she'd gone with Monica and the others. I told her I'd run into Monica that morning. Jessica's face changed. She tried to say Monica must have been confused or misremembered. I told her to call Monica right now and clear it up. She couldn't. She sat on the couch and started crying. She admitted she hadn't gone on a girls' trip. She'd gone to Miami for her ex-boyfriend Tyler's wedding as his +1. I asked her to repeat that because I couldn't have heard correctly. She said Tyler had reached out to her 2 months before the wedding. He'd broken up with his fiancée temporarily, and during that time he'd called Jessica saying he'd made a mistake years ago when they broke up. He said he wanted to see her. Jessica had met up with him for coffee. She swore nothing physical happened. They'd just talked. Then Tyler had gotten back together with his fiancée and the wedding was back on. But he'd still wanted Jessica there. He'd said she was important to him and he wanted her to be part of his big day. He'd asked her to be his +1 since his fiancée was bringing her own group of friends and bridesmaids. I asked why she would agree to that. She said she didn't know. She said Tyler had been her first serious relationship and she'd never really gotten closure. She thought going to the wedding would help her finally move on. I asked if she understood how insane that sounded. She'd lied to me for months, flown to another state, and attended her ex-boyfriend's wedding as his date while engaged to me. She said when she put it that way, it sounded worse than it was. I asked if Tyler's new wife knew Jessica was his ex-girlfriend. Jessica admitted she didn't. Tyler had introduced her as an old friend from college. She'd sat through the ceremony, attended the reception, and danced with Tyler during the wedding party dances. I asked to see her phone. She hesitated but handed it over. I found text messages between her and Tyler going back months. Messages about how excited he was to see her. Messages after the wedding about how glad he was she'd come. Messages from 2 days ago where Tyler said he couldn't stop thinking about seeing her and asked when they could meet up again. Jessica tried to explain that Tyler was just being nostalgic and that she hadn't responded to that last message. I scrolled through and saw that she'd actually responded saying she'd been thinking about him too, and that maybe they could get coffee again soon. I asked her if she wanted to marry me or if she wanted to be with Tyler. She said she wanted to marry me, but that Tyler was just an unresolved part of her past. I told her that excuse didn't work when she was actively planning to see him again behind my back. She said I was overreacting. I told her she'd lied about a trip, attended her ex's wedding as his date, and was making plans to see him again while wearing my engagement ring. She said it wasn't like she'd cheated. I said lying and emotional affairs were still betrayal. I took the ring off her finger and told her to go stay somewhere else. She panicked and said we could work through this. I said there was nothing to work through. She'd shown me exactly where her priorities were and I wasn't included. She packed a bag and left. She went to her sister's house. Her sister called me the next day saying Jessica was devastated and that I was being too harsh. I told her sister the whole story. Her sister went quiet and then said she'd call me back. Jessica's sister called 2 hours later and apologized. She said she'd had no idea Jessica had lied about the trip or that she was still in contact with Tyler. She said Jessica had told her family that I was being controlling and jealous over nothing. I sent Jessica's sister screenshots of the text messages. Her sister said she was horrified and that she'd talk to Jessica. I told her not to bother because I was done. Jessica showed up at my apartment 3 days later begging to talk. I let her in because we needed to figure out logistics. We'd been living together and she had stuff at my place. She tried to apologize and explain again. I told her to save it. She said she'd cut off all contact with Tyler. I said that didn't matter anymore. She'd already proven I couldn't trust her. She'd lied convincingly for months and I believed every word. She could promise anything now and I'd never know if it was true. We split our stuff over the next week. Jessica kept asking if there was any way to fix this. I said no. She'd chosen to prioritize her ex-boyfriend's feelings over our relationship and our future. That choice had consequences. My friends think I did the right thing. A few people have said I should have at least tried counseling, but I can't see past the level of deception. She didn't just lie once. She planned it, executed it, covered it up, and was planning to continue seeing him. That's not a mistake. That's a choice.